Sports, wild wheel stands, unbelievable smoky burnouts. It's all about to take place. If you're a Ford fan or just a drag racing enthusiast, hang on. We've got a total package for you. Wild burnouts from funny cars, street cars, pro stocks. Just sit back and enjoy as we bring you the one and only horsepower-packed Fun Ford Weekend. Redline Oil presents the Fun Ford Weekend at Desoto Memorial Drag Strip. Brought to you by Super Chips. Give them a call at 888-CAR-CHIP. By Redline Synthetic Oil, Oil of Champions. By MV Performance. For all your Ford performance needs, MV Performance. Ford at www.ford.com. And by Vortec Superchargers. When you're looking for super power, get a Vortec. Well, at the Spring Break Shootout, we're going to start out with Modular Mustang, round number 1. First two cars coming to the starting line. It's going to be Rick Roberts versus the Adkins entry. They've got their dial-ins in on their cars in the Modular Mustang category. Both rolling to the beams. We should see some great heads-up racing down to the top end here. Lights are coming down. Oh, and a red light start goes to Adkins, ending his weekend here at the Spring Break Shootout. Plenty of sun and fun for him to sit back in the bleachers and enjoy the rest of this program, as Roberts will go down with his dial-in, see how close he can get to the number of 14.28. Looks like he puts it up on the board with a 14.35. He dialed in at 14.28, runs a bit off his dial-in, but he'll be back for another round. We'll see Rick Roberts take on some of the best in Modular Mustang. Next two cars coming to the line, Joe Hutchins will take on Gary Bauer. Bauer has his dial-in the yellow machine as he'll pull into the beams fully staged. Now watch Hutchins playing a bit of the light game, trying to get the advantage. Oh, and it cost him. Look at the thing torque up and go to the guardrail. Hutchins goes red on the starting line. An instant win would go to Gary Bauer. Your winner dials at a 13.10, runs down. Good thing for the red light, he runs under by 9 at a 13.01.5. He'll have to slow it down in the next round. Gilbert and Shepard now your next two guys at the line. Jim Gilbert and Barry Shepard. Shepard both leaving on a green light start, and look at this, the reaction time very good for Gilbert here in the far lane. Gilbert trying to hold him off as they get down to the top end. Can Gilbert stay within his dial-in? Bangs the brakes a bit in that Thunderbird. Barry Shepard with a win, 12.91 the dial-in at 12.85. He runs a bit quick under his dial-in, but he'll be back for another round of action. The Modular Mustangs, very high horsepowered sort of factory-built machines. Put a super chips in them, and you've got yourself one heck of a street machine. Jordan and Shepard will bring it up now. Kenneth Jordan and Roxanne Shepard. Roxanne, you don't have to turn on the red light. Just look for that green machine as she leaves the line. Oh, look at this, Roxanne with a good lead. Banging the gears now. A factory stick-driven Ford Mustang as she'll take it on. Looks like Roxanne's going to try to hang out there. And here comes Shepard. A good run. Roxanne Shepard takes the win. 13.80. 13.29 would have been the dial-in. So it's running very strong. A little bit of horsepower needed in the next outing for Roxanne to prove that that car can go some rounds here in Modular Mustang. Spinicki and Edwards now leaving the line as they have their cars dialed and ready to go in the modular class. Paul Spinicki, Johnny Edwards. Edwards way back trying to get a win out of this. It looks like Spinicki going to make a hard charge. Man, oh man, bust out over there for Edwards. Spinicki takes the win here, 12.66 on a 12.67 dial. What a run. Big breakout in the far lane, breaks out by least. He'll come back for another round of Modular Mustang in that blue machine. That'll move us right in here with Ray Williams, and he's on a single pass here in the Redline Oil-sponsored Modular Mustang. And Ray had to use a different vehicle in the modular class this weekend, being a pickup truck, because his Mustang was back at the dealership getting more than just armor all on the tires. Down on the top end, Ray Williams shows that he can run within those numbers, 1747 on a 1752. The big pick-em-up truck's coming back for some more rounds here this afternoon. Another single run coming up from John Williams. He'll bring his Ford Taurus to the line, and Williams will dial in. Getting the thing to run pretty good. Dials in at a 1579. Let's see if the old Taurus can run the numbers. That's pretty stout for a stock factory Taurus. Well, he may have a super chip under the dashboard or something, but down on the top end, look at this, 1567 on the single pass. So it'll give him another round here in Modular Mustang racing. Be neat to see that Taurus go against that pickup truck maybe in the next round. Well, Robert Hindman coming up on his single. You know, we got to apologize for a lot of the single runs that you're seeing there at home because with all the rain and the violent weather we had here in Bradenton, well, it's Monday and we're trying to run the event. A lot of guys had to get back home to work, so they missed the first round and actually missed the whole race. But Robert Hindman hung out here, being a guy who didn't care whether he got fired or not. 13:06, 12:76 the ET. Hindman, it may pay off for him in the Modular Mustang class throughout the afternoon. Joe Pinder coming up now on his single pass. Pinder with a unique-looking Stang. Got those neat-looking light covers on it. He's got it all dialed in here in Modular Mustang qualifying. He ran well. Now he's got himself a single as his opponent had to head back for the hills. Down to the top end, here he comes. Pinder, 11:84, runs through the traps at 11:73.1. A good run. They'll really have to get these things dialed in come the next round when they meet up with an opponent. Next run's going to be Daniel Nito. I'll tell you, this is Nito. Look at this thing leaving the line. As Nito pulls up, he gets the light. Almost a basic stock-looking Mustang with the modular engine under the hood. Down to the top end, Nito, 15.34, the dial-in. He's going to make a big charge on the top end, run a bit under on this one. 15.24 seconds. Nito on the brakes. Well, they'll be back. That was our first round of Modular Mustang. We'll see what they can all do in round number 2.
Superchips Incorporated, the world leader in aftermarket automotive computer chip technology, offers a complete line of computer chips and computer upgrades for almost all General Motors and Ford vehicles. Since 1983, Superchips Incorporated has designed computer chip programs and other electronic performance products for stock and modified vehicles. With over 15 years of experience, you will not find another company with more computer programming experience for race, tow, and recreational vehicles. For more information, call 1-888-CAR-CHIP.
Here we go with Top Truck, first round action. As we move into Top Truck, a lot of the guys also had to make their way out after that wild storm here this weekend. And Scott Westgate found himself with a single round, basically going to the finals. All Westgate had to do here is make this lap to make it legal that he made a lap down the track to find himself in the final round. Westgate talking to the starter for some apparent reason. And the starter looking over at him and saying, yes, we do run trucks here this weekend. Now he'll fire that truck up out of the water box area. Watch this. If you haven't seen Ford pickup truck racing lately, you're in for one heck of a treat. Westgate now rolls in. He has a dial-in of 921 on the back glass of this thing. That's a performance prediction that Westgate says it will run. Down to the top end, I cannot believe it. A 9-second truck, top end charge for Westgate. Look at this, 9.05 seconds. Well over 133 miles per hour. One heck of a run for the Ford pickup truck. Next to the starting line, this is Mr. Wilson, Brian Wilson. No, he doesn't have his surfboard out. He's not talking about She's Real Fine My 409 right now. He is his top truck Ford ready to go. Look at this thing just launch off the starting line. Amazing just how this Ford truck works. The wheelie bars on the back end. Wilson down on the top end. A terrific run for Wilson. 12.90 seconds. He said she'd go 11.95, but he'll be back for more action in his truck. Get ready, fans. We're going into trophy stock, round number 1. The lights are flying as they get ready to bring them to the line. Here's our first set of cars, the Murphy and Enlow entry. Rolling to the starting line, Murphy will take it on, and I'll tell you what, Murphy in a beautiful maroon machine. Enlow rolls up in his green machine and ready to rip it up. Into the lights first, Murphy rolls in ever so gently to the bottom bulb. He's in, the beams are coming down. Look at that, sportsman tree, no way, we're going pro tree in this one. Murphy leaves the light, 602. No, check this out, 687 reaction time to a 596. Enlow with the better hole shot, but look at Murphy pour the power on down to the top end. 1285 for Gary Murphy as he wins the first outing in trophy at 104 miles per hour. Next two cars out of the burnout box area, getting their tires nice and hot, and they're ready to go into the lights. Lights are coming down. There's the pro tree. Both cars leaving with a heck of a hole shot. Givens and Holton, man, I'll tell you what, 575 for Holton. As Holton goes down there, Holton is just blasting his way to a victory at this point. He's got him by 2 car lengths. Jamie Holton, 1294 at 105 miles per hour. Holton puts his hands up in the air like he just don't care. He's going another round here in Trophy Eliminator. Man, what a beautiful car. In our third outing here, we've got a bye run going to Wynn. Well, that means he will win. Bruce Wynn on the single, coming up in Trophy Stock. He's got to love it. You know, you get the time run in, you get it all dialed in to where he needs to be, as Wynn will go down looking for basically a 12-second run. Car running very stout at this point. Bruce Wynn down there on the single goes 12:46. Look at the mile per hour, 108.12 miles per hour. We'll see if Wynn meets up with someone tough in the next outing. Next two cars to the starting line. Here we go as we bring it up. It's Bonziek. Being Joe, ripping it up. Look at Joe dumping a clutch in his thing. He's on a single pass here, so he'll automatically transfer to round number 2. All he's got to do is keep it in one piece down to the top end. Bonziek not running quite the numbers that some of those 12-second Mustangs did. 13:08, 105 miles per hour. I would say that there's probably a tune-up in store for this thing back in the pit area. Chambers coming up with his single pass. Is Chambers being Jeff. Jeff Chambers rolls into the lights. Lights are coming down. That pro treat. Wow, and Jeff sits there at a 6:63 reaction time. He's banging the gears also. I'll tell you what, you can listen to these things going down the track as each gear is banged into, I guess you would call shifted into. Now, Jeff Chambers, 1270, 108 miles per hour. Will Chambers have enough to meet up with some of those low 12-second contenders in the next few outings? Our sixth car coming to the line. Well, actually not sixth car, but our sixth pair. Well, there won't be a pair here. As Primo comes up in his single pass in the trophy stock. Primo, actually, I'm not sure the pronunciation of his name, but I'm sure he'll correct me by the time this tape is over with. Oh, look at this thing smoking underneath. Hopefully he's not going to the head gasket department. Down to the top end, he's got her well into the high gear and rolling this thing out the back door. Shutting it off, 13:07, 103 miles per hour. Looks like this green machine's coming back for another round here in Trophy Eliminator. Hinman found himself also running on a single as Gene will roll his trophy stock staying to the line. Rolling in ever so gently. Preparing for the battle. Listen to the horsepower coming out of this thing. It comes with one of everything. Great looking rims, a telephone on board, and probably an onboard computer to find out how to get to the local mall when he's got his chick with him. Down on the top end, Gene Hinman shuts it off. His ET 1235, 108 miles per hour. This is just brewing up to be one heck of a battle with all these 12-second cars here in the Trophy Eliminator. Next car to the starting line. It's going to be Larry Feltz in his trophy stock Sting. Larry Feltz revving it up. He's in, fully staged. All he's waiting is for the green lights to fly. Let's see if he dumps the clutch on us here. Oh, yeah, and a little bit of a wheel stand there for Feltz. Feltz goes down and wondering if he can turn it in. Look at him. He's just pumped up down there, banging gears, probably missing a gear. At this point, it looks like Feltz may have turned to silk. She's just coasting down there on him. Problems for Larry Feltz. Shuts it off. 1452 at 69 miles per hour. Wonder how Larry felt at this point. Will it be fixed for the next round? It's yet to see, but we'll find out in the next round of Trophy Eliminator. That'll make us move our way right into street stock, round number 1. Get ready as we have a few guys here ready to roll down the track on a single pass. You know, actually, a couple of cars going to go head-to-head right here in the opening of street stock Eliminator. It'll be the Jerkins beautiful Stang over there taking on Abdallah's machine. Abdallah rolls in the dark Mustang far lane as Jerkins is getting ready to jerk the shifter right out of the floorboard on that thing. We'll find out if they get a wheel stand. Lights are down, pro treat. Look at that thing hang out the left tire. I'll tell you what, Jerkins hanging in there. Better hole shot would go to Jerkins. And a 5 1/4 reaction time down on the top end. Look at this, Abdallah with the win light. Mike Abdallah hole shots his way at a 1061, 127 mile per hour victory. Abdallah's going to be a tough guy to beat. Man, is that a stock sleeper, huh? Next one up, Corey Roth. There's a big name in Mustang racing. Corey Roth, ready to go in his street stock entry. Roth comes up, very good on the pro tree. Watch Roth as he gets in, fully staged, watching the tree, concentrating. There's a great shot of the Mickey Thompsons on the back end of Corey Roth's machine. Roth now taking his time. He's got the little pony car into the beams, fully staged. Lights are down. Now there is chassis science at work. A beautiful lead, putting the tires down to the pavement down there in the back end of his Stang. Roth, a hard charge, top end. Look at the number, fans. 10.50 seconds. Quickest run so far of the day at 127 miles per hour. He's going to be a tough guy to beat come the end of this deal here in our street stock category. Another single coming up. It's Steve Barton. Barton will roll up in his Mustang, all horse powered out and ready to go. Let's see if Barton comes out with a good burnout to the starting line. Steve now has the track to himself. And believe me, Barton will meet up in the next round with Abdallah. Abdallah will go in. Roth finds himself with a bye run going right into the next outing. So Roth will have a bye run. This Barton here is going to need a heck of a tune-up here. Looks like he's running way off the number. He may be just saving parts. Barton down there from the Ford Performance guys, saving some of those parts for the next round when he meets up with Abdallah. He knows he's going to need all the horsepower. 1495, just an easy run at 89 miles per hour. It's going to be something to see when Abdallah and Barton shoot it out in the next outing. Get ready, they're getting faster and quicker. Street Renegade, round number 1, coming your way. Here we go in Street Renegade, first round of action. Look at the burnouts, the little Mustangs coming out of the corral. And man, oh man, the Super Chip sponsored Mustang, the red machine of Willie Figueroa. He'll take on Zerman in this outing. Greg Zerman ready to go. Figueroa's been tough. I'll tell you, this guy races in all types of competition. He's got a Vortex supercharged Mustang in this outing. Look at him trying to plant the Hines on the back end. Figueroa, man, what a hole shot. Figueroa goes out with a heck of a hole shot and a win down on the top end. Look at the number, 10.08 seconds at 131 miles per hour. I'll tell you what, Figueroa's going to be tough all weekend. Parrilla rolling up now as Parrilla gets ready. Angel Parrilla will take on Patrick Cuffley Jr. Wow, did you see Angel spread his wings out and try to fly into the sky? Angel Parrilla, man, oh man, did that thing plant down. Looks like Patrick's down there. He gets to watch the whole thing. Angel, top end 1065, 125 miles per hour. And there's one wild Mustang, and it only gets better, fans. Carlos coming up now. Carlos is a real tough competitor. Carl Spedvaldia and Vindusky. Ron Vinduska, excuse me, as Vinduska rolls in his white machine. Lights are down. Look at Carlos. I told you he could plant that Mustang. Vinduskia having problems in the white machine. It's going to be an easy win here for Spinvidia. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I'll take a number 3 with everything on that burrito. Carlos down on the top end, 11-11, 110 miles per hour. He'll advance to the next round, and we promise we'll get his name right next time. Single pass coming up here out of the burnout box area. Check this out. Quickest man on the grounds today, Chip Hadman. Well, we're with number 1 in Street Renegade here at the spring break. Chip Hadman, tell us a little bit about the car and about the feeling of being number 1 at an event like this, the opening event for all you Ford racers.
Yeah, last year we competed in 9 out of the 10 events. We took 4 class wins and just had a blast racing, and so we decided to come back again. We've got Texas Jam, Cartech, Kutzer Racing Heads. We've got Pro Charger back on board. Stang Gear and Metco are all giving us the parts and the assistance that we need to come out here and really hit it hard again this year. We're going to try to take it again and just do the best we can and have a good time, number 1.
You know, you guys built this car some years back, competing in different classifications of racing. What made you move to Street Renegade?
Yeah, the car started out as a Street 5.0 car and moved to an Outlaw car. But Outlaw kind of has taken off, and that's really for a pretty serious racer, and it's hard for a lot of us smaller guys to come out and have a good time with the car. They introduced the rules to Street Renegade, and it just seemed like a perfect fit for the car. So what we did is a few modifications, came out just to see how it do. We took the win here at the Spring Break Shootout last year, in '98, and carried some momentum through the season and just kept it going and ended up taking the national championship.
Anything different for '99? I mean, the power plant, are you running the same power you had in '98?
No, we're hitting it hard. We've got a new combination, got a new motor, got a new supercharger. We've made a lot of changes to try to come out and top those that were out there before and put the ones who come out and want to play in perspective.
Well, I'll tell you, number 1 is a great feeling to have won the '98 season. A tough number to hang on to in '99. We wish you the best.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I want to thank a few of the groups who are out here helping put on this event. I want to thank Redline Racing Oils. I want to thank Flowmaster and Super Chips. I think that's it's their support and their efforts in helping us getting this thing done are just immeasurable. And I want to thank the Fun Ford Weekend and all the people who work hard to put on the races. Thanks.
Hopefully see you in the winner's circle today, huh?
I hope so. Thanks.
Well, Hadman, after his burnout, is ready to go on a single. Being the number 1 qualifier, it's a deserved single, and check that wheel stand out. The Pro Charger brings the horsepower to life in Hadman's machine. He's gone 10.06 to deserve the low ET of the afternoon, and he runs a 10.19, just a bit off the number at 130 miles per hour. Hadman, he's going to be tougher than cookies come the final today. Next to the line, here comes Bob Kurgan on a single pass. Kurgan good pass for him. Digs in hard. Beautiful paint scheme on this thing. Now at the top end, Kergman will roll in. He gets a 660 on a tree. Down on the top end, 1073, 129 miles per hour. I'll tell you, these guys running well into the 10s, and they're all over the place. We've seen 1065. Hammond's, of course, is 1006 as the number one hit here this afternoon. Speaking of hit, here comes Chad Hitt. Chad Hitt in his Street Renegade Mustang. Hitt running on a single pass here. Not quite the reaction time he'll need if he's going to look for a win light. He was over a second on the tree, but he goes 1134, 123 miles per hour. We'll see if Hitt gets hit on in the next outing. Next car to the starting line. Single pass by Rick Goss. Rick Goss coming up in that beautiful Lethal Weapon Vortex supercharged machine. He's got Hoosier tires on the back end. Let's see if they're hooking up for him this afternoon. Oh, Rick, man, I'm telling you what, these supercharged Mustangs just amazingly fast. Down on the top end, 1047 for Rick at 109 miles per hour. Rick Goss will advance to the next round of the Street Renegade class. Here we go with Robert Mollett. Mollett on his single run. Mollett will roll to the lights. He's got the track all to himself here to advance. His opponent had to head home. Oh, and a horrible nitrous explosion. What a concussion for Mollett. Man, I'll tell you what, we felt that way over here in the tower. If he didn't feel it, watch it in slow motion. Mollett leaves a line. The nitrous oxide just doesn't want to be accepted into the engine. Boom! You can see the explosion underneath and the pieces flying off that little Stang. I'll tell you what, it's time for this one to go back to the horseshoer. Oh, man. Mollett and the crew, they have to head back and see if they can get it fixed. He is legally in by having a single and getting across the line. David Parsons now coming up with his single pass. Parsons looks like he just leaves the line, shifting mild and maybe saving parts at this point. The Street Renegade, that's what he's exactly doing. He knows how tough it's going to be to get through the field. You also noticed that we saw Vic Keane down on the starting line checking out conditions as his brother Jimmy will come up with his heavy-duty Super Street Mustang. Right now, as Parsons rolls off, we have John Summerfield coming up on a single pass. Summerfield, Street Renegade. Round number one for him. Oh, leaves the line. Check that out. I have no idea what just went wrong. Could have been in the drive line. That thing just didn't want any of whatever he had to offer it. So he'll shut it off with problems. John Summerfield broken on this starting line, and you've seen him leave the line. The crew will push him back to the pit area. Hopefully he'll be pitted next to maybe Mollett so they can share pieces. Chris Mayer coming up on a single pass. Mayer in the beautiful Mustang. Rolls to the starting line. Mayer's in. Lights are down. Mayer with a beautiful lead for his Stang. I'm going to tell you what, that thing launched hard and looked perfect as both wheels came up and carried out for about 50 feet. Dropping it down and finding an accumulated time of 1076 at 118 miles per hour. Mayer, if he's got more horsepower, I'm sure that car will accept it. Next two cars, we've got a couple coming to the line. Well, actually, another single. Eric Varner coming up. Single pass. Look at Varner torturing the hides on the back end. Going through the gears, hand on the steering wheel. This guy's just totally serious about getting on this track. 466 on a pro tree. What a reaction time. 1057, a $130 on a mile per hour. I'll tell you what, Eric Varner is very serious. That guy's going to be tough to beat on the light. And Charles Calloway comes up. He's got a single pass also in Street Renegade. Calloway comes up, kind of a mild leave off the line. Now she pours the power to her. Calloway down on the top end, runs through the trap, screaming at Stang in that small block. 1063, 129.71 miles per hour. It's going to be tough all weekend here in Street Renegade. Let's see who comes out on top.
Redline Lubricants, racer proven to enhance the everyday performance of your car. Experience the same high performance as the pros with Redline Performance products and significantly reduce everyday engine wear. Redline Lubricants are specially formulated with anti-wear additives that protect far beyond other oils and lubricants. Call 800-624-7958 for details on our complete line of oils and additives. Redline Oil, lubricants designed for performance.
It's getting wilder, so hang on as we bring you Street Outlaw, round number one. First set of cars coming to the starting line in the Street Outlaw Eliminator, fans. Ron Cox and Brian McKee. McKee rolls up in his beautiful machine. Oh, look at the sticky Mickeys on the back end. Wheelie bars to boot. We're bringing up the horsepower level just a bit more as they come into the lights, ready to go. Check it out. Lights are down. Beautiful light for both drivers. And it looks like Cox and McKee are going for a run. Look at Cox coming on the top end. Can he get around him? He does. Ron Cox, 954, 151 miles per hour. The car in Westgate now will roll to the line. Look at the convertible over there from Canada. Rolling in ever so gently, looking for a win here. Let's see if Becerra with a better hole shot. Man, oh man, the Canadian may be going back to the ferry across the pond. Can he make a charge? And Becerra's going to take the win here. Mike Becerra, 961, 140 miles per hour. Man, oh man, is it getting tougher here in Street Outlaw. And next to the line, it's the Texas Twister himself. We had a chance to talk to him earlier. Oh, we're with number one from 1998 in Street Outlaw, Mike Murillo from San Antonio, Texas. A brand new machine. Tell us a little bit about it, Mike.
Well, this is my street car. We've been working on it for about a year and a half, and our Texas Star car is what we call it, is in the chassis shop right now, so we brought this one out.
I mean, you talk about a street car and you look at no stickers on it. This is actually the car you race down the street or drive down the street back home in San Antonio?
We actually just got it together, but we have gone out cruising with it a couple times with it, and this is the second time down the track that last run.
Well, I'll tell you, the guys down there at Texas Jam have to be excited. I mean, this car just eclipsed an 8.93 second run, and when you look at it, it looks like your average 10-second car.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what's real unique about it. It doesn't look like an 8-second car, and that's what we wanted it to look like. We didn't want to put the big wing on it. In fact, we don't like the parachute, but we got to have that to run out here.
So you say that the new car will be out, the old car actually will be out of the new chassis shop, and you'll be back with that running in this class again?
Yes, sir. We should be back in about May.
Well, it'd be great to see him. The guys from Texas Jam, Mike Murillo, and look out, 893. Man, if they're putting the word street into street racing, you're going to look for Mike to maybe be on the top of the ladder today. Well, Mike Murillo ready to go in his Street Outlaw street machine. His car broke. He didn't have a chance to get it running, but he brought his street car out for points here. An incredible street car that is. Look at Murillo. Ladies and gentlemen, 880 at 158 miles per hour. I'm going to tell you what, Lugo may be the number one qualifier, but Murillo in his street car really impresses the people here in Florida. Adam Baez coming up. The single pass for Baez's flaming Mustang. Believe me, no lip wrist here, baby. Baez goes up in the air and just hangs one out. What a beautiful wheel stand. Drags the plastic off the bumper on the back end. Baez, 990 at 137 miles per hour. When is it ever going to stop? It doesn't matter if it's Monday or Sunday. These guys are hauling butt. Next up, Johnny Yurst in his single pass. His Street Outlaw machine. Yurst ready to move in. Let's see if that track's got teeth. Does it? Oh, look at this little torquey twist for him. Banging out the clutch. He goes down, shifts the gears very gently. He may be saving some parts and pieces. I don't think you'll see that parachute deploy at the top end of this run. Down at the top end, he's just coasting down there. Yurst knows it's going to be tough to get around Murillo and his Texas Twister come the next round. John Yurst down there. Well, a 1471 on the top end at 80 miles per hour. We'll bring up our number one qualifier, ladies and gentlemen. We had a chance to talk to him earlier. Oh, we're Dennis Lugo, driver of Tom Moore's Street Outlaw Ford Mustang. Dennis, being the number one qualifier and actually the only turbo car, I believe, in this class today, you guys got to be happy the way you're running.
Oh, yes, we are. It's been a lot of work, but we're getting it there.
Actually, I had a chance to watch you guys going down the track yesterday. The car seemed to spin the tires some 500 feet out and still ran an incredible number at 855.
Yes, it did. Track was in pretty good condition yesterday. We just got a little too aggressive with it, and we're trying to set the record for the class and went a little too much on it. But we hopefully will get it all figured out today.
Tell us a little bit about that turbo power plant under the hood. I mean, the Moore and Lugo team going together and going to the number one spot at actually your first outing for the 99 season has to be incredible.
Oh, yes, very, very incredible. Car's making a lot of power. Turbo's really, really making a lot of power. A lot of the Street Outlaw guys that were heavy hitters are really not here this weekend, but The car did run 10th under the record and about 5 miles an hour faster than the record yesterday, so we are making some power with it.
Tom, you being the owner of the car, how did this acquire? How did you get Dennis to be the pilot for this machine?
Well, I met Dennis in Orlando about 2 years ago and heard a lot of good things about his company and his ability, and we wanted a good car that was dependable, and we came and sat with Dennis and asked him what it was going to take to build an award-winning car here, and Dennis put the car together, and he's been driving it pending my license status and doing a great job.
I'll tell you, being in the #1 spot, you've picked probably one of the best pilots in any Ford out throughout the years. The Lugo Performance team has really done a great job. What are your thoughts about being #1 here today at the Spring Break Shootout?
Tickled pink. We've spent 2 years working hard to get here, and we just can't wait to get another car in the pro category so we can double up on them.
Well, it's going to be an awesome race here this afternoon, and hopefully you guys can get that thing to hook a little better and maybe improve on those numbers. I really have a feeling this car's got some 30s, maybe 20s in it.
We like to run some 30s. I don't know if we could do that here today, but we will do it before in Atlanta. That's the next event, so.
Well, we'll see the Lugo and Moore team as they prepare to go into the first round here, being the #1 qualifiers. Well, Dennis Lugo coming up on a single pass, the turbocharged guru himself. Lugo gets into the beams. Oh, and that does not sound good. The VG Custom Super Chip sponsored Mustang. And the Lugo Performance guys not happy at this point. You can hear this thing, just sounds very lame. Man, there's problems there. Maybe in the turbo department, I'm not sure. Now wants to come on. It could have been, who knows what it is. I have no idea. Lugo's gonna have to go back to the pit area because come the next round with the Texas Twister, he better have everything geared up in that Mustang for a win. Get ready, fans. We're ready to go into the Spring Break Shootout class, round #1. Coming to the starting line, the first 2 cars, Jim Hevner in his beautiful black Mustang. He's got the little scoop down there to get some of that air in there and bring this thing to life. He'll take on Mike Miller. Miller ready to roll in. He rolls into the maroon sheet. Oh, look at the hole shot. It may have been a red light start and an instant win for Jim Hevner. It looked like the cherry went red, and Miller's day is through. Little black Mustang of Jim Hevner. Look at the top end charge, 1140, 149 miles per hour. That'll bring up the Mr. Rotor himself. I'm telling you what, heavy duty hitter coming up. Lou Proto and Vic Williams. It's gonna be a good round. Watch Proto. They'll roll into the beams. Parachutes are packed. That is an indication that there may be a 150 plus mile per hour run here. Let's see if it turns out that way. Into the beams, very so gently. They're in there. Lights are down. Wow, what a wheel stand! The convertible goes to the plastic bumper, baby. He's got smoke galore coming out of the back end. He doesn't care. Top end Lou prototype, man. 954, 138 miles per hour. Give that guy a super chip. Figueroa and Folk coming up. Folk ready to go. He's in the far lane. Check this out. Figaro, yeah, he's gonna sing his way right off the hole shot. Look at that supercharged 4th generation Mustang of Willie Figueroa. He shuts it off early, digs the spoiler into the pavement, and Willie Figueroa shuts off at an 896, 130 miles per hour. Tell me that turbo freak ain't coming back to win a race here this afternoon. Here comes Spicer and Boost now. Boost ready to go. He's got the burnout going on down there in the water box area. Spicer, well, it's David Spicer, ready to roll up in his beautiful red machine. Spicer will go to the beams first on the tree. Let's see if Boost can come out of the cornfield scaring some of these guys here in the Spring Break Shootout. As we are in Spring Break Shootout round #1, both cars, look at that, identical to the pre-staging area. Boost goes in first. Now the lights come down. Hole shot on this day would go over to Boost. He finds a great hole shot on the reaction time. Oh, look at him making a charge. Boost trying to hang in there. Oh, problems in the far lane. Boost will advance. He sure does at 1159, 115 miles per hour. I wonder if he's one of the Boost brothers. Next to the starting line, here comes one of my favorites, Spurgeon Adkins. Spurgeon Adkins, you gotta love it. Spurgeon rolls up to the starting line. He's got a buy run here on a single. Atkins rolling down there. He's got every bit of his foot in that Nitrous Works sponsored Mustang. Down to the top end. Spurgeon lays down the law. 1070, 127 miles per hour. Spurgeon Atkins, there's a big name in Mustang racing. Don't forget it. He may come to a house near you. Next to the line, we're ready for Walter Drakeford.
back. Walter Drakeford, he's got a Thunderbird. That's fifth, Lovey.
Oh, Rooster Tail of Death coming out of the back end of Lovey's machine. Top end, Walter Drakeford, 11:48, 118 miles per hour. Who called a limo? Here comes Dan Millen. Single run for Dan Millen also. Millen will roll in. Remember we said we had a big rain out this weekend? Oh, Millen, check that out. Man, oh man, did he have the horsepower set up there. Looking down, I don't know what he's looking at actually. Double wheel stand, Millen shuts it off. Probably thinking he may have banged the oil pan or something when he came down that hard. Saving the pieces down in the top end. Millen runs a 1597 at 67 miles per hour. With the leave on the line though, we know there's a ton of horsepower left in Millen's machine. Another single pass coming to the starting line here in Spring Break Shootout. Jim Jones, don't drink the punch, baby. I've told you all about it. Jimmy Jones rolls in. He's ready to knock him out. Jones lays one down. Just don't stare into his eyes either. Jones goes down there in the top end charge. He's going to go right out the back door. Check this out, 987. Man, did he shut it off. 109 miles per hour. Some serious ET, and there's more horsepower left to boot. Jimmy Jones, man. Got his own island and everything. He'll be back for another round. Here comes Dan Schoeneck. Schoeneck ready to go. As he'll pull in, Schoeneck rips it up, lays it down. He's got a single pass. Schoeneck with a good reaction time, 650 on the tree. Top end charge, banging through the gears. Schoeneck shuts her off. 11:15, 119 miles per hour to advance to the next round of Spring Break Shootout.
Modern Mustang. We carry all major brands of Mustang performance car accessories, including Lunati, Dr. Gas, Redline, Vortec, and many more. Modern Mustang. Check out our induction line, like Ford Motorsports GT40, Pro-M Bullet Mass Air, BBK, and Edelbrock. We offer great friendly service and never any hassle. And we ship your parts free for orders over $100. Modern Mustang. We carry a huge stock of engine parts like custom stroker kits and engines, Eagle rods and cranks, Cobra 1.7 rocker arms, and many more. Call 1-800-688-7798.
Have you been horse kicked lately? Hang on, here comes Super Stallion, round number one. And out of the burnout box area from the country of Canada, ladies and gentlemen, we had a chance to talk to these brothers. Let's go down and see them. Well, the Spring Break Ford Shootout has gone international. The boys from Ontario, Canada have shown up in Florida to show some serious business. Joe, tell us a little bit about your new car here for Pro.
We got our 1998 Ryder Racing GT Mustang here with us this weekend, and brought down Paul, my brother's car, down also.
I'll tell you, it's just great to have a brother team racing in the same classification of racing. What is that like for you guys? I mean, is there a secret shared, or do you guys just go out and battle each other like the competition?
Well, we're pretty well trying different combinations in each car. Try the new Victor heads from Edelbrock and Manley rods and stuff like that. So we do share some of it and run different components on both different cars.
You can see that they have a fourth generation body here, and I believe Joe's the pilot here. Can you tell us a little bit about the differences in bodies? I know you used to campaign an older model Mustang years back.
Yeah, we had a 1986 Mustang, and we decided to step up to the new body. I really like the new body, and aerodynamically it looks better. Car looks a lot sharper, and it definitely a lot smoother at top end through the traps.
So tell us a little bit about the power, Joe, you guys are running this weekend.
We're running two different motors. I'm running a 414 cubic inch nitrous assisted motor, and Paul's running a 386 with also the Hogan intake and the nitrous oxide assisted.
Well, I'll tell you, guys are crewing in the same 10 area, and hopefully the brotherly love will hang in there this weekend.
It will.
All right, Silva and Mata ready to go. Silva in with the stick-driven Mustang, the Yellow Beast from Canada. Rolls in, Mata ready to take him out. Let's see if Mata's got the power to do so. Look at Silva, Mata just staged it up, had problems. Silva's gonna take this one back with flames out of the hood scoop and underneath out of the header. Paul Silva, 861, 146 miles per hour. Believe me, fans, that's one tough stang right there. Next to the starting line, check this out, Delatorre. We talked to Delatorre, let's see what he had to say. Well, we're with Elias Delatorre, based out of Key Largo, Florida, one of the fastest Mustangs on the ground in the Pro 5.0. Elias, tell us a little bit about the field and the Spring Break Shootout this weekend.
Well, there's a bunch of guys here that have worked very hard all year to get their cars all ready. I mean, we got a little bit of advantage. We can run all year, you know, year round and get the cars ready. Usually our biggest advantage is running the first 2 or 3 races when the other guys up north can't really run. So that's what we felt our advantage would be coming here, is where everybody else is snowed in and we're out here running.
You know, tell us a little bit about, you're no newcomer to Ford Match Racing. Some of the biggest names are here this afternoon. You guys are qualified somewhere number 3, I believe, at a 798. What are your thoughts about the guys above you?
I mean, they're big names. They've been doing it a lot longer than I have. I've only been doing it for about 2.5 years, 3 years. The only thing is I'm just real competitive. I refuse to be second or third. I strive to be number 1. And if it's not fast enough, I go back home, rebuild it, do whatever I need to do to be able to compete. I mean, that's just the way the attitude I got.
Tell us about some of the power under the hood of this car. Are you guys running a Vortec, I believe?
Yeah, what I've got is I've got a 347 with a Mondo supercharged Vortex set up by Vortec. I've got the aftercooler with the double X Mondo and TFS heads, and really no trick stuff when it comes to the block or the heads or anything. It's more or less the Vortec and the aftercooler.
Actually, with the look in your eyes, this looks like it could be your spring break shootout for 99.
I would think so. I mean, I might do another event or something like that, or 2 or 3 other ones, but we're trying to have a little bit of fun too. And everything's going so well so far, we're going to try to step it up a little bit when we need to and go from there.
We'll see you later on this afternoon.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, here comes Elias's beautiful GT Mustang, 4th generation body. I'll tell you what, this kid is tough from the Floridian state. Watch out as he pulls it in and hangs on for more than just his share of horsepower. He's got Junior Ibanez over there, and Junior Ibanez, believe me, that kid is no mess around. Look at him. Ibanez tries to shake with that supercharged machine. The Paxton entry of Desoto goes to the top end with a win. 8.12 seconds, 165 miles per hour. I'm going to tell you, that's Desoto in fine fashion. Here comes the other Silva brother out of the country of Canada. Beautiful burnout. It's Joe Silva. Ripping it up. He's got a stick shift too, and I'll tell you, this guy's got to be pretty scared right now. Randy purging the nitrous oxide as Spaller gets ready. He better watch the kid over here. Joe De Silva is very tough off the starting line. He's got a stick and a clutch to dump here. Lights are down. Whoa, and a red light. Start goes to Randy. Look at Silva's car just planning on the asphalt here at Bradenton. Down on the top end, check the number out, race fans. 825, 165 miles per hour. Tell me this Canadian didn't come with his ice skates sharpened this afternoon. Lamore in his single pass as Lamore will roll up. Lamore qualified pretty good here in the Super Stallion class. Let's see if Lamore comes in and saves parts. Man, he's just blasting the dust out of the back end of that machine. Lamore goes down. Sounds like he's having some backfire problems at this point. He stays into it anyway. Lamore 1004, 126 miles per hour. And there is the rooster tail of death, ladies and gentlemen. He may have melted his share of pistons in that outing. Kenny Markwich coming up, the young man who's been doing so well in Ford racing. Markwich now will roll in. This kid's like 17, 18 years old. Markwich now rolls his machine in. It is a Super Stallion. Believe me, I've seen this thing mount Mr. Edit sometimes. Now that he rolls down to the top end, Kenny Markwich, 9.97 seconds, 140 miles per hour. Not his share of that 8-second fashion. And if anybody's going to catch up with this man, they're going to have to do so in fine fashion. We talked to him. Let's go down and see Les Bear. Well, actually, being the record holder at 773, 183 miles per hour, and coming into this field with this street-style Mustang racing deal, tell us about the spring break. Did you build a car according to the rule book?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They were just over here in the trailer checking everything out with their tape measures and templates and the whole bit.
Your thoughts about maybe being the only guy in the class today and being the #1 qualifier? You take the check and go?
No, you can't look at it that way. You got to go this round by round. Anything can happen at any time, and that's the way we look at it. We take it round by round.
I'll tell you what, good luck. I mean, you've already had your work cut out for you being the #1 qualifier. Now you got to deal with the rest of the field wanting to come down on you.
We'll accept that. We'll take that in stride. That don't bother us anymore. Because the same thing goes on in any racing association. As soon as you build a state-of-the-art car, that's the way it goes.
Evolution, my friend.
Absolutely. And if you want to be safe at 180 miles an hour, this is what it's going to take.
This is going to be a war.
Not by me, it's not. We'll just take it round by round.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Hillside Strangler, Les Bear. Single pass, Super Stallion. It speaks for itself. Check this thing out. I'll tell you, more controversy about this car this weekend than any car on the grounds, but it doesn't matter. He's the quickest here today. 7.70 seconds, 181 miles per hour. Less than Karen Bear's entry is going to be tough come the end of this day.
MV Performance, the world's largest one-stop Mustang and Ford Performance Center. Boasting 11,000 square feet of complete chassis and suspension shop, specializing in Ford automatic racing transmission, nitrous oxide, and forced induction systems. Bolt-on modifications or complete race-ready cars. Matherly and Vilmanot have combined their 20-plus years of racing experience to make anything possible. MV Performance.
Well, Gary Bauer coming up in a single pass in this round number 2 of Modular Mustang. He's got a single pass here in the Redline Oil sponsored class. Look at him just lead the line. Man, is that thing wicked looking. A 4th generation Mustang. Bauer takes it down the track, puts his foot well into it. He'll advance for the next round just by taking the green light. Top end charge. His dial-in was 13:10. He ran a 13:01.5. I'll tell you, man, he better dial it down a bit so he don't break out when he comes up against someone in round number 3. Next 2 cars to the starting line. Check this out. We've got our first side-by-side battle, and Pinder and Shepard come up. Shepard ready to make it happen. He leaves on his dial-in. He's got a handicap head start. Now Pinder comes around. This is going to be a good charge. Both running some serious modular power. The 11-second Pinder, though, he's going to try to nip him on the top end. Oh, and he doesn't get it done. Barry Shepard takes the win, 12.91. He runs on a double breakout, 12.85. Shepard breaks out by least, advancing to the next round of Modular Mustang. Next to the starting line. Get ready, fans. Oh, here comes the big bad staying on roids over there. It's the big pickup truck, and here comes the Paul's High Performance sponsored little Mustang. This is going to be a good round here for these two. Svinicki and Williams. Williams, big handicap head start. His dialed-in big pickup truck trying to move all 8,000 pounds of it. Svinicki says, so what? He's got a 12-second index. Can he get around that truck? They should be bumper to bumper come the top end. Well, look at this. It looks like the truck may have broke out, and he did. He ran way too fast. And Paul Svinicki will advance. He goes 12.62 on a 12.67 dial-in. Breaks out by lease. The pickup truck broke out by a week and a half. Nito and Shepard will be the next 2 in modular. Nito and Shepard roll to the line. 15-second dial-in for Nito and a 13-second dial-in for Shepard. Shepard watching as he digs off the line. Check it out. Nito out there. Now he'll make the charge. Here comes Shepard. Should catch up right around the 1,000-foot mark. Man, could be a breakout. Roxanne Shepard taking the win. Nito breaks out. 13.69 on a 13.29 dial-in. The lady goes another round. All right, here comes the Williams entry, 15.79 the dial. Roberts, on the other hand, dials a 14.28. Handicap head start goes to the Taurus off the starting line. Now, let's see if that Mustang can catch up to that Taurus. I'm going to tell you, that's the one that's been running very well. The Taurus running in the 15-second range and some stout horsepower from the Ford factory. Top end charge, though. Williams takes the win. Look at that, 15.79 runs a 15.83 and will advance the Taurus to another round of Modular Mustang. Next 2 cars coming up here. Looks like it may be a buy run here for Hinman as he rolls to the line. Robert Hinman jumps up off the starting line. Hinman dials at a 13.06, but he's got some major problems there. I don't know what they are. Surely you want to get the car to run the number down there and take every advantage that you can of a test run. So there may be some serious problems for Hinman. And I think there are. Hinman way off his number, 13.06. He ran a 19.35. Man, I would think that Hinman's got some serious problems. Hopefully he gets them squared out for second round. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going right to trophy stock, round number 2, which is the quarterfinals. First 2 cars to the line in trophy stock, Chambers and Bonziak. Bonziak ready to roll in the dark machine. Look at this, a flick of the lights and a temptation as the Pro Tree comes down. Bonziak rips it up in the air as he finds himself with a little bit of a wheel stand, but Chambers will have none of it. The red Mustang makes a hard charge around. Bonziak trying to stay there, ever so close. Top end goes to Jeff Chambers, though. 12.91, 105 miles per hour. What a good round of pure drag racing right there. Next 2 to the starting line. We've got it ready to go as, I believe, Wynn in the red machine rolls in. Fully staged and Primeau, I'm not sure how we say that. We promise we'll get his name right. But he's got the wild striped green machine going around down to the 8th mile. And it looks like Wynn may take the man right out of the program. Bruce Wynn, look at this, 12.62, 107 miles per hour. You think he likes to do what his last name is? I do. Here comes Larry Feltz, the number 1 qualified white Mustang over there. 1233 was the number. He holds the mile per hour of the event, also at 109. Feltz rips it up. He's got Murphy over there to contend with. Murphy's going to give him a run for his money. Now Feltz, remember he had problems in the first outing in round number 1? Not no more. This man just finds all the horsepower he needs. 1293, 101 miles per hour. Larry Feltz is coming back for another round of trophy stock. Well, the next 2 cars coming up, Hinman and Holton ready to go in trophy stock as they'll pull them in, ready to take on the tree. Oh, look at a hole shot goes over there, and I'll tell you what, Holton with a terrific hole shot, but he'll have none of it. That's Hinman I'm talking about. He goes around him before the 8th mile, and a big victory going to Gene Hinman. Hinman with the run, 1247, 108 miles per hour. Oh, man, Hinman and the guys, they got to be pumped. They're coming back for another round of Trophy Stock Eliminator. Get ready, fans. It's going to happen soon. Right now, we're rolling right into Street Renegade, round number 2, and out of the burnout box area, a beautiful smoky burnout for this team. Man, oh man, laying down the law on that one. It's going to be Kurgan and Varner. Varner ready to pull his machine up. Varner, a very consistent mid-10-second car. Kurgan, on the other hand, has run well into the low 10-second range. Let's see if he can do it again here in this outing. Both cars ready to roll in. Kurgan, oh, look at Varner. He knew he's going to need a hole shot. Like I said, he was running in the mid-10s. Look at, here comes the checkered flag right by him at the 8th mile. Kurgan makes a hard charge and a win. Bob Kurgan at 10:04, 133 miles per hour. I'm going to tell you, Havman is not going to get a gimme this weekend because at an 04, Havman's 10 flat looks like it could be caught up to. Here comes Willie Figueroa. Figueroa getting ready to take on our favorite guy. No, it's not the guy who twisted his head up and said, I'll have an enchilada with everything. Spita La Vida. Not the Loca either. That might be just the dance he's trying to do. But Willie Figueroa is going to help me out because he didn't know the name of the guy in the left lane. Top end Willie Figueroa. Whoa! And a big charge trying to take Willie out in a demo derby. 10-11, 133 miles per hour. And it looked like Willie just, if he'd have looked in the rearview mirror, he might have got nervous. Check that out. Man, watch this in slow motion. This is a head gasket going away. Getting the water on the tires. I'm going to tell you what, Carlos did a terrific job keeping that car under control. Anyway, Willie Figueroa is going another round. Next 2, here comes Chip Havman, number 1 qualifier, and the Parsons entry ready to take him on. Havman leaves the starting line with that supercharged machine, the Pro Charger going downtown, baby. He's got it hanging loose. Parsons and those guys aren't feeling too good at this point. Down on the top end, Chip Havman, number 1 qualifier for the event, 10-12, 133 miles per hour, advances his little Stang gear Mustang to the next round. By the way, did they ever come up with Stang Rays? I don't know. Callaway and Mayer coming up. Mayer in the yellow machine rolls to the top beam. Callaway takes his time in his Street Renegade entry. Whoa! Up and down. You see, I think the starter fell out of that thing. Let's go back and see it again. There it is. It was the starter laying out from underneath the car. Man, it hit so hard. Charles Callaway, though, 11:05, 115 miles per hour. Callaway's got to be pumped up. Man, what a job. Mayer's got to be pumped out. Watch this in slow motion. Tell me it's not a starter or something. Boom, there it is, hitting the pavement. Is it an alternator or a starter? Could have been a supercharger. Could have been anything. Here comes a Hit and Mollet team. Well, it's going to be Hit. See if Hit can take another one on the starting line. He's been awesome. Oh, Mollet shows him how it's done. Leaves with a better reaction time here. I'll tell you, this Street Renegade, Mollet better have all his stuff geared up. Come race day, down on the top end. Check it out. Win goes to Robert Mollet, 12-20, 119 miles per hour. Mollet and the boys are just showing their power off early here. Hit, well, that's what it'll take back in the pits. Well, here we go with the next 2 cars, and this is a matchup you're going to love. Here comes Goss and Parilla. Parilla doing a burnout still, sitting over there in the orange Mustang will roll up. Remember, Parilla's run into the mid-10s. This is going to be an awesome race. Both cars capable of running well into the low 10s, from 1050 to 10 flat. Let's see if Goss, I think a hole shot's going to do it here. As they pull to the starting line, oh, look at a hole shot and a wheel stand over there for Parilla. Parilla using his power and the hole shot to the 8th mile, but here comes the horsepower of Goss. Down on the top end, Rick Goss, 10-21, 128 miles per hour. He'll advance to another round in Street Renegade. Man, oh man, think with a whole shot in the 400 reaction time, you'd win the race. Just didn't have the horsepower to do it. And you can check it out as we show you another shot of it in slow motion. Man, look at the little orange car. He found a great 400-plus reaction time, had him down to the 8th mile, then Goss poured it on. Yep, I can see the little guy shoveling coal in the oven back there. That's drag racing, fans.
Protect your engine from the ravages of extreme heat with Redline Water Wetter, a unique wetting agent for cooling systems that reduces coolant temperatures by as much as 20 degrees. Redline Water Wetter improves heat transfer and protects your cooling system from rust and corrosion. Call 800-624-7958 for details on Water Wetter and our complete line of performance products. Redline Oil, products designed for performance.
And here we go, round number 2 of the spring break shootout class. Hebner and Schoeneck will open this one up. Lights are down, wheels in the air, check it out. Man, what a hole shot going over there to Schoeneck. He rips one out, 650, 656. Hebner right on the back door, and Hebner shows him how to get to the finish line first. 931, 149 miles per hour. That's one tough Celine as he'll roll it to a stop and come back for round number 3. Next 2 cars to the line. Here comes the big bad limo Thunderbird. The Drakeford team ready to take on Millen. Millen rips one up and lays the law with a great wheel stand. Millen's going to show him his way to the finish line on this run. Down on the top end, look at the number, 8.89 seconds, 150 miles per hour. Millen, man, where did that come from? Now we'll take Boos and Jones out. Remember, Jones sitting over there in the maroon Mustang waiting patiently. Boos, on the other hand, has been very tough getting around to this round. Well, it looks like it may be all over. Yep, it looks like Jones is taking him right out of the program. Boost may have problems. Jim Jones, 939, 134 miles per hour to advance to round number 3 of the spring break shootout class. Man, what a race it's turning out to be. As we watch as they burn them up in the water box. Here they come, beautiful smoky burnout, and it looks like it's gonna be Spurgeon Atkins coming up here. Spurgeon Atkins and his beautiful maroon, I would call it like a fish scale looking paint job. It's kind of cool looking pearl down there. Look at the convertible though. Proto trying to ham some fun here, and it looks like we put them both together just for the fans to see a good show. They'll both be back in the next round. They ran together on double bye runs, so they both advance right here as Spurgeon Atkins shows off some of his power, and he'll need all that power for round number 3. Believe me, when it comes down to it. And here comes Willie Figueroa, the #1 qualifier, low ET, and top mile per hour of the event so far. Willie Figueroa, he's got a single, deserved bye run here in round number 2. Let's see if he goes right out the back door. Man, it looks like Figueroa putting some power to it. There he goes in that supercharged entry. Figueroa, top end charge, 862, 144 miles per hour. Figueroa's going to advance to round number 3. He's going to be tough come the end of the day. Believe me, that 4th generation Mustang isn't giving anyone anything. Get ready, Super Stallion 5.0, quarterfinals coming up. And right to the starting line, staged and ready in the pre-staging area is Les Bear from Hillside, Illinois. Bear ready to take on Lorimore. Lorimore ready to go as he leaves the starting line. Look at Les Bear and his Super Stallion. Man, you would have think someone put a prodding kettle on the back end of that horse. Top end charge, 769, 179 miles per hour. Tell me he didn't just wake up the Ford fans in California. Next up, we're ready to go. The second 2 cars ready as Delatorre takes on Markowicz. Markowicz, the young kid, leaving with a whole shot. Delatorre has problems. Would have told me he was broke and just got there for the points, maybe hoping Markowicz would have red lit or something. Top end, Kenny takes that win, 834, 164 miles per hour. And it looks like Joe Da Silva's going to get himself a bye run in the next outing. Silva, will he go for lane choice? Well, by this burnout, I would say he's going right down the track in fashion as he burns it up right down the burnout box area here. Watch Da Silva. This kid is wicked, man. He owns his own shop down there in Canada, builds some high horsepower Ford engines, and loves to mess with those turbocharged power plants. He'll roll in, lights will come down green. Man, does this thing plant the tires. Banging the gears, Silva now down on the top end. A heck of a charge, 8.21 seconds. Dumps the laundry out of the back end at 165 miles per hour. Watch out as Joe Silva will be back to battle with probably, who knows, maybe even his brother, Paul Silva, coming up here, as Paul Silva with a deserved bye run will meet up with Kenny Markowicz in the next outing. Silva banging his gears with his 5-speed Mustang down to the top end, going for lane choice, an incredible run, just a bit quicker than his brother, 8.20 seconds, 166 miles per hour. Is there any way anyone will stop these Canadians this weekend? It's Modular Mustang quarterfinals. And the first two cars to the line, it's Williams in his beautiful Ford Taurus, and he's going to take on Shepard's Mustang. That is the young lady, Roxanne Shepard, who has been tough as she gets ready to dial it in. 13:29 and a 15:79 handicap goes to the Taurus. Now, can the lady catch up down on the top end? Boy, she looks like Hines to me, dripping it right down off that tower, baby. Here she comes. Does she break out? Yes, she does. John Williams takes the win. There's your guy who's going another round. 15:79, he runs an 83. The lady broke out trying to catch him on the top end. Man, what a race. Hinman and Bauer now coming to the starting line. 13:10 to a 13:06. You won't even see it in the tree. There they go. Now they got to run the numbers. 13:10 and a 13:06. Hinman trying to get out front. You know they're looking at each other right now as they come down to the 1,000-foot mark. Should I dump him? Should I get on the brakes? No, I'll stay right into it. Robert Hinman, 13:06 on a 13:06. He runs 12:97. I'll tell you, double breakout. They were both there, but it looked like Hinman got the better end of the deal. Paul Svinicki coming up in his single pass in Modular Mustang in round number 3. Svinicki, he's got her dialed in at a 12:67. There's the machine we told you at the beginning of the program, how tough he has been all weekend. Look at this, he goes down, runs a 10th quicker than his dial. 12:57 on a 67. Will he dial down in the next round? It'll be something to see as Svinicki and the guys really know how to keep this thing consistent. Barry Shepard on a single here, as it looks like Barry Shepard will be the last guy here in round number 3 of Modular Mustang. Shepard rolls out, 12:91, the dial-in. Man, he is on a good roll. Shepard goes down to the top end and runs a 12:89 on a 12:91. Man, it's going to be tough. Shepard and those boys showing off their stuff. Well, here we go, fans, moving right into Street Renegade and the quarterfinals. And of course, Willie Figueroa comes up in his 10-second street banger. Check it out. Street Renegade, Willie Figueroa, and the Mollet Racing team look like they may just be done at this point. They're giving up. And look at Figueroa. He's going right out the back door. 10.05 seconds, 133 miles per hour. There's a guy who's running double duty this weekend and doing a great job. Next two cars to the starting line, Kurgan and Callaway. Callaway rolls to the starting line with his low 10-second. This is going to be a great drag race. Both cars running well into the low 10s. Look at the wheels come up there for Kurgan. Kurgan tries to get around. This is the guy I say will give Havman a run for his money come the end of this weekend. Top end charge. Look at that, Bob Kurgan. 10.01 seconds, 132 miles per hour. Is there any stopping this guy? He just keeps getting quicker and quicker. And here's the man he's going after, Chip Havman. He's got a single. He's going to need it here to tune this thing up. Let's see if we can get a 9-second run out of him. Havman with his beautiful Texas Jam-sponsored Mustang, taking the track advantage. Remember, he was in the far lane before. Now he takes a run down this lane. 10 flat, 134 miles per hour. Now, if it would work out to be like it should, and we see these two cars next to each other, it's going to be a 10-0 final in the finals here. Down there, Rick Goss, he still has the power to prove it as Goss goes out, running down there on a single. Goss goes down and shuts it off at 10.68 seconds, 102 miles per hour. So Goss will be back for another round of action, and we'll wait for him to see what happens.
Vortec builds award-winning superchargers, aftercoolers, and performance parts to do two essential things: perform and last. The finest materials, engineering excellence, and exhaustive product testing, both in the lab and on the track, combine to create quality performance products that go the distance. That's why Vortec equipment is the choice of aspiring racers, champions, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. If you're looking for the ultimate in long-lasting performance for street, truck, SUV, or race vehicles, look to Vortec, the leader in centrifugal supercharger technology.
Well, here we go with the Street Outlaw round number 2. And it looks like it will be the tough competitor of Mr. Cox getting ready to take on the Chera. Becerra now leaves the starting line. Oh, look at this, getting squirrely mid-track down there. And Ronnie Cox seems to straighten it out and gets a victory. Cox, 932, 151 miles per hour to a losing 964 at a $139. Ronnie Cox, that was incredible. Now John Uris coming up on a single here in Street Outlaw. He pulls in. He may be going for lane choice or he may save pieces. Let's find out. Oh, look at the torque out of that Ford. Man, does he just blister the back right tire on that launch, and he goes down. Uris now with a good charge, 1158. 140 miles per hour. That'll bring up Mr. Baez on his single pass, too, to go into this round. Baez, though, on the other hand, after the burnout, showed that his flaming Mustang wasn't going to do a wheelie like it did in the first outing. Baez saved some pieces and some parts, thinking about going into round number 3. Baez, an easy run, 14.34 seconds at 87.59 miles per hour. The race and the wondering point for all of us, after Baez shut it off, was Lugo. Would he make it here? Would his power plant run? Let's watch down on the starting line. And Lugo, well, it looks like he's building up turbo boost as he leaves the line, and a good launch for Lugo. He's figured out some of the problems. This thing is running not quite to power, but she is screaming down there on the top end. 9.92 seconds, 109 miles per hour. Would this leave the door open for Murillo and the Texas Twister team? Let's find out as he pulls to the starting line in his street car once again. Here comes Mike Murillo. Good burnout for Murillo in his supercharged street machine. This is a Mustang GT that he campaigns on the street back there in Texas. Now here it's in Street Outlaw because his brand new car isn't finished yet. Let's see if he saves pieces or if he goes all the way down track to find lane choice in round number 3. Because we know in round number 3, him and Lugo will meet up together. Oh, look at this. I don't know what's going on, but it looked like he had to shut off way early. Mike Murillo out of Texas, coasting basically to a 12.80 second elapsed time at over 76 miles per hour. It's going to be neat to see him and Lugo in the final. Here comes the spring break shootout. Strap in, we're going to the quarterfinals. Next 2 cars, here comes Spurgeon Adkins. Spurgeon Atkins getting ready to go here as Atkins rolls to the starting line. You know, I'm going to tell you, Spurgeon doing his share of racing. Hebner, on the other hand, has really done some great round winning. Watch the super scoop on the top of that machine as he leads the starting line. Hebner showing Spurgeon Atkins his way to the finish line in this outing. Hebner with the win, 9.01, 145 miles per hour. What a great race for Jim Hebner. Spurgeon Atkins has to wonder what went wrong. Just not the power in this outing. Here comes Willie Figueroa. Speaking of power, look out, fans. This guy may be on his way to the 8-second zone. Figueroa and Millen ready to leave the line. Millen with quite a wheel stand. Look at this. It looks like the supercharged power plant stays on the ground and runs right into the mid 8-second zone. Willie Figueroa, 8.54 seconds at 152, will advance to the semis here in one wild spring break shootout. Lou Proto on a single pass in the convertible Mustang. Proto finds himself on that single and just saving pieces. Man, remember the wild wheel stand Proto gave us in the first outing? Well, maybe we'll get down to the finals and see if Proto can get there. 10:33, 132 miles per hour. A little bit of smoke coming out from underneath that car. Makes me wonder if she's hurt. Jimmy Jones, that's right, he's mixed up another batch of that favorite punch as he rolls to the line. He's looking at everybody out there, and if he's staring at you in the stands, believe me, look down at his tires or something. Jones comes by, he's saving the pieces too, as Jones will take his time in this bye run. Probably running somewhere in the 15-second range, wondering about the finals. Jones meets up with the one and only Willie Figueroa in the next outing. Proto, he'll have Hebner, and it's going to be a great battle come spring break shootout in the semis. It's Modular Mustang as we get ready to get down and dirty in the semifinals. Here comes Hinman and Williams. They're ready to go to the semifinals here. And it looks like the Taurus has been going some rounds. Let's see if Hinman can do it again. Williams rolls in, dialed in, 1579. Look at Hinman, 13.06 he dials it in at. He gives a handicap head start to Williams, who was trying to run in that 1570 range. Top end, they should be bumper to bumper. Oh, what a good race. Hinman takes the win, 1306, and he runs a 1303 on a double breakout. Only breaks out by 3/100ths of a second to go to the next round. And that brings up our next two cars, Svinicki and Barry Shepard's Mustang entry. Shepard ready to go as he has it dialed in and prepared for a 1291 run. 1267 on the other hand is the dial-in performance predicted by Svinicki. And look at this, now the charge. The handicap head start went to Shepard. Here comes Svinicki down to the top end. Oh man, look at the run. Barry Shepard, 1291 was the dial. He ran a 1292. Talk about some tough numbers to beat. It'll be Hinman and Shepard in the finals of Modular Mustang. Get ready, trophy stalkers. We're coming up now with our semifinals. Hinman and Chambers ready to go in the semifinals here. And it looks like Hinman ready to roll in. He's got that 12-second power leaving the starting line. Better hole shot goes over to Chambers, though. And a heck of a run. Hinman's going to have to wheel it in and hang on to it down to the top end. Hinman, Gene does it again. 1236, 108 miles per hour. Gene Hinman, is he going to be unstoppable? Well, if Larry Feltz is having anything to do with it, we'll find out in this next round because Feltz pulls up and he'll take on the man who likes to win. How about Wynn in the far lane? Look at that, #1 in trophy stock last season. He has the big #1 on the side to prove that he was the best in 1998. As they roll off the starting line, it looks like Wynn may have found himself a hole shot by a bit, but Feltz pours on some of that white Mustang power down to the 8th mile. Here comes Feltz, Larry, the #1 qualifier for this event. Wow, 1236, 108 miles per hour. Feltz is going another round here, and it's going to be the final round. He'll meet up with Hinman. Man, what a battle it's going to be here in trophy stock. Get ready, we're going right back to street stock as we bring you the quarterfinals. Ready to roll in, and it looks like Abdallah has himself a bye run in this outing. Mike Abdallah, ready in a deserved bye. This is some 1070 power. Watch this as he leaves the starting line. He's going for lane choice in the next outing. He's going to meet someone up there, and it looks like on another bye run, it may be Barton. So it may be Barton Abdallah in the next outing. Mike Abdallah, 1070, 127 miles per hour. That little Mustang's been tough all weekend. Let's see if he can show that power off in the next outing. Here comes Steve Barton, another single pass as Barton will meet up, like we said, with Abdallah in the next outing, so he's going to go for lane choice. Remember, 1070 was the number. A quicker run than 1070 would get the lane choice. Man, he's smoking his way to the top end. Steve Barton goes 1044, deserves lane choice in the next outing at 128 miles per hour. Who will they meet up with? Probably this guy, Corey Roth. We told you how tough he's been. Man, I hope that's tire smoke coming out of the water box area as Roth leaves the starting line. A good lane, 543 on the tree. The quickest reaction time in this outing would go to Corey Roth. Now, Roth runs down and finds himself just slowing down for some apparent reason. Roth saving parts down on the top end. He knows how tough it's going to be. 1465, 58 mile per hour charge. He'll be back, and we'll see if Corey Roth can take out some of the best. Will it be Barton and Roth? Will it be Abdallah Roth? Who will it be? We'll find out. Here we go with Street Renegade, ladies and gentlemen, and we're moving right to the semifinals. 2 cars, 2 men. Oh, and of course, Willie Figueroa has to be one of them. Racing double duty. Look at Figueroa. Kurgan has problems on the starting line in this outing, and Willie Figueroa is going to advance. Kurgan pushes it back off. He may have heard it in the last round. Figueroa doesn't care. He runs a 10:01, 134 mile per hour charge. Figueroa's going to the final here today in Street Renegade. And who will he meet up with? Will it be Goss or will it be Chip Havman, the toughest kid on the block? As they roll into the beams, preparing for the run, the lights are down, and a red light start goes to Goss. Havman sees it and shuts it off to save the power for the last round. It'll be Figueroa and Havman going to the finals. Goss runs it out the back door in 10-second fashion. 1354, 71 miles per hour. Chip Havman. Does he have the super chip? Will he need the super chip? We'll find out, fans. Don't go anywhere. The final right around the corner in Street Renegade. Now we're going to Street Outlaw. Get your handcuffs on. It's the quarterfinals. And here we go as Baez and Uris roll to the starting line. Check this out, Ford fans. It looks like Uris the last one in. Lights are down. Wheels stand for both cars. Baez bounces his way down to the pavement. The flaming little Mustang down to the 8th. Can he hang with Johnny Uris? Down on the top end, Uris with the win light. 9.67 seconds at over 140. What a drag race. Baez says, hey, I'm going top end. He passes him up. Next two cars, Cox and Lugo. Let's see if Lugo has his machine cocked at this point. He had some problems. Can he get the Turbo Mustang to run good this outing? Oh, yeah. Cox spits and fires his turbo plant. And look at Lugo go to the 8th mile. Lugo on the best run of the afternoon. 8:55, 158 miles per hour. Dennis Lugo has figured out the problems with the Lugo Performance Mustang. The question is, can the Texas Twister handle Lugo in the final? Well, it looks like he's going there. Maybe. Let's see. He'll have Lugo in the semis, actually. The Texas Jam Street Machine of Mike Murillo and the Texas Twister. Looks like there's no dust storm here. They've calmed the storm. They don't care about lane choice. They'll be in that next outing, and he is the man to beat here today. Mike Murillo and his street machine. Like we told you, his car broke. Well, actually, his race car wasn't finished, so he brought out the street car. Awesome. Spring break shootout. Not just the event. We're going to the class semifinals coming up. Next two cars to the starting line. Here comes Prototype himself, and Hevner rolls to the line. Watch Proto's convertible as he gets in, pulls the wheels down there, yanks the back hides off the bumper. Man, oh man, what a wheel stand. I'd shut it off too, Proto. I'd be scared to death. After that, Hevner's going to the finals. 920, 149 miles per hour. He is pumping the stump, baby. Man, did Proto yank it up. I wish we could see that again, but right now we're going to see if Figueroa can take out Jones. As they roll to the starting line, Willie Figueroa leaves the line. He's got that supercharged 4th generation Mustang just flying here this weekend. Down on the top end, takes a look over the left shoulder and says, stop there. He runs a 933 at 130 miles per hour. Jones goes back to the camp to bury bodies. Super Stallion 5.0. You got your hoofs on? It's the semifinals, baby. Here comes Les Beer out of Illinois, ready to go. And Silva, being Joe, rolls in as Joe De Silva makes it happen here. Oh, and a red light start, a shot in the goal. He's going back to Canada with nothing but net, baby. Look at the Illinois man. He rips it up. Les Bear in the Karen Bear entry. Dumping the laundry, 769 at 179. Oh, they got to be pumped up. This kid has to be pumped up too. Ken Markowicz, who will find Bear in the finals. The kid versus the man. Kenny Markowicz, just 18 years old, I believe. Look at him rolling down there, just making it happen. He's got his foot into it pretty hard. I'm going to tell you, not 760 fashion, but 987 at 140. He better go find another motor maybe to throw in the hatchback or something. He's going to need it if he's going to take the Bear out. Here we go with Street Stock as we move to the semifinals. To the starting line, it's that battle we promised you about, Barton and Abdallah. Abdallah rolls in, the lights are down. Oh, both cars leave on a green. Better hole shot goes to Abdallah. Can Abdallah keep the horsepower of Barton off his tail? Look at Barton making a charge. He wants to go to the final. What a drag race. Steve Barton, 1049, 127 miles per hour to a losing 1065 at 126. Corey Roth knows where he's headed. Let's see if he saves pieces or if he just beats the snot out of it in this outing. Roth pulls up. Oh, he's saving it. He's going to do the old parade float. You can see the hand like he's at the Rose Bowl parade, checking things out. Smoke coming out of the back end. Roth and Barton, they meet up in the finals. Let's see if the kid from Marshallville, Ohio, can take that 87 Mustang another lap here today. Here we go with Street Outlaw as we move right into the semifinals. Lugo, Murillo, and Urist. Who will it be here? Murillo and Lugo meet up, turbocharged, supercharged. Murillo has the street machine. Lugo has his race car out here on this afternoon. Look at this as they pick up the power. Lugo may have gone red on the starting line. He went in too deep and cost him the race. Mike Murillo and the Texas Twister take the win. 893, 156 miles per hour. A deep stage, and Dennis Lugo finds himself out of the event, going back to his hometown. Here comes John Uris on a single pass. He knows what it's going to take to go around that Texas tornado in the outing. It'll be the finals. He'll take his time, save his power. He knows what it's going to be like. Watch this as he goes down. 18-second fashion, 71 miles per hour. Man, oh man, what a final it's going to be. The kid from San Antonio, Texas in his 90 Mustang GT with a 347 power plant, ready to take Urist into the vortex with him. It's the Modular Mustang final, fans. Here we go as Hinman will take Shepard on in the final in Modular Mustang. They're dialed in, 13:06 and a 12:91. Handicap will go to Hinman on the tree. You barely seen it as he leaves the starting line, far lane. Look at Barry Shepard trying to hang with him. They should be bumper to bumper come 1,320 feet. Down on the top end, the man from Coreytown, Tennessee takes the win, 13:06. He runs a 13:09, just 3/100ths of a second off his dial in. That'll lead us right into the final of Top Truck, baby. Westgate and Wilson lining up out of the burnout box area. Beautiful smoky burnout. Man, oh man, did Wilson light the hides up there for us. Leaving on his dial. Look at this, banging the gears, the white truck of Westgate. Wilson trying to hang with him, 12:90, 9:05, down on the top end. The red machine gets around him. Scotty Westgate, 9:21 at 9:25 was his ET. He had her dialed in. He knew how to run the number. Let's go to the trophy stock final. Feltz and Hinman find theirself all ready to go. Another Coreytown, Tennessee man. The Hinman family doing great this weekend. Feltz leaves the starting line. He's the #1 qualifier. Remember, he went 12:33 and 109 miles per hour. Feltz takes the white Mustang far lane around Hinman's white Mustang. A top-end charge, and Larry Feltz goes home the champion. 12.33 seconds, a 109 mile per hour charge, and he gives the old thumbs up to Hinman. What a gentleman. It's the Street Stock Final, fans. Barton and Roth, they thought they'd meet up this way towards the end of the day. Here in Street Stock, Roth, the blue machine, far lane, ready to go. Still smoking so badly, I think that there's probably some rings or something hurt in that machine. Roth leaves, and look at this. Barton doesn't even leave on the green. His car was injured. Down on the top end from Marshallville, Ohio, the 87 Mustang of Corey Roth will take the championship. 10:50, 127 miles per hour. Roth goes home the champ. Let's go to the Street Renegade Final. And here they come into the water box area. Willie Figueroa and the Vortex Super Chip sponsored Mustang will take on the #1 qualifier. Low ET of the event, 10 flat, will be Chip Havman. He's got the blue machine with the orange paint on the quarter panels, baby. As they leave the starting line, look at Havman with an amazing hole shot advantage. And here comes Willie Figueroa. He goes under the glove box and looks for some more horsepower and finds it on the top end. 10.04, 134 miles per hour. The man from Hialeah, Florida, takes the champion in Renegade. Now it's time for Street Outlaw Final. Oh, the race of the weekend between the two in the Street Outlaw Final. Mike Murillo from San Antonio, Texas, will take on Uris's machine. Look at the leave off the starting line. Uris tries to collect the whole shot. Murillo will have none of it. 444 on the tree. An easy victory for the Street Outlaw champ. Mike Murillo goes 887, 157. What a run from the kid from Texas. Spring Break Shootout. The final. Here's the burnout out of the burnout box area. Well, Willie Figueroa, he won 1 championship. Can he do 2? Hebner, on the other hand, ready to take him down track. Look at this. Figueroa all over the track. Hebner with a true and straight run. Figueroa straightens it out, and Willie Figueroa once again takes the 95 Ford GTS on a 400 cubic inch victory. 863, 163 miles per hour. Super Stallion 5-0 final. Les Bear coming out of the burnout box area. Kenny Markwich ready to go. Les Bear out of Hillsdale, Illinois. The 98 Mustang, beautiful smoky burnout for both drivers. Let's see if the youngster can take the old man at the game here in Super Stallion in the final. Markwich father goes inside, turns the nitrous oxide on board, and now they've got a full hit of the NOS. Ready to go, rolls into the beams ever so gently. Kenny Markwich fully staged and ready. Lights are down. Beautiful lead for Markowitz, but look at Les Bear in that 7-second power, pouring it out on the top end. 783, Markowitz disintegrates his engine. 181 miles per hour. Congratulations to the Bear team. What a weekend here at Bradenton, Florida. Desoto Memorial Dragway. The winners in all classes getting congratulated, getting their awards, their medals. has been one wild weekend for the Blue Oval fans. I'll tell you what, there hasn't been enough Ford horsepower here. It happens each and every Ford event that we put on. Let's see if this spring turns out to be a good one. We have to thank the fine people from Redline Oil for making it what it was here this weekend at the Spring Break Shootout. Champions are made of champion products. Street stock winner Corey Rock had to be pumped up going home with a championship. Also, another man that took 2 in a row, Willie Figueroa, the street renegade champion, finding himself being the guy he is at home, a tuner, on the track, a driver. With all the action still to come, the award ceremony went on. Figueroa, like we said, taking 2 championships home, winning the Spring Break Shootout, also showing that his Mustang in that class was unbelievable. Mike Murillo, the Texas Twister out of San Antonio, Texas, showed that he not only could drive a car, but he also was a great kisser. And Les Bear with his championship, a little bit of conflict, but a whole bunch of horsepower in his camp. What a weekend it's been as Redline Oil presented us the Fun Ford Weekend. Brought to you by Prodigy Motorsports. Super Chips. Give them a call at 888-CAR-CHIP. And by Redline Synthetic Oil, the oil of all champions. MV Performance. For all your Ford performance needs, MV Performance. Ford, Blue Oval Racing, www.ford.com. Vortex Superchargers. When you're ready to get super power, get a Vortex Supercharger. Fans, it's been an awesome weekend. Remember, you don't have to drive fast, enjoy fast driving. Just come out to another Ford event.